Good day, Riviera Beach. I am councilperson for Sella Davis Panier, representing District 5 in the beautiful city of Riviera Beach. I'm excited to be here this afternoon with two of our emerging leaders from December 2025 and January 2026. And guess what? They're siblings. So let's meet our sibling crew. What's your name?
Nubia Reed.
This is Miss Nubia Reed, and over here we have
Latalo Reed.
Latalo Reed. Okay, and these are some awesome young people that we're going to find a little bit more about during this interview. Now, who is this, Latalo?
This is my mom.
Okay.
That's all I want to say.
That's all you're going to say? Okay, and Mom, I'm going to let you introduce yourself. Inside joke.
I am Christina Reed, and this is the Reed family. Shout out to my husband, Lando Reed, who couldn't be here today.
Awesome. Well, let me just say we were excited to meet them on Wednesday at the City Council meeting. They are definitely emerging leaders who are just awesome in their own right, and I love that they promote positivity, being kind, and we're going to learn a little bit about what they do and why they do it. So you want to tell us a little bit about your two darlings?
Sure. Thank you for having us too. We're really excited to be here. We are transplants to Florida. We moved here almost 5 years ago. And when my son was, he had just turned 3 years old.
Okay.
And it was shortly before he was diagnosed with autism. And so since then, we've been plugged into the autism community. I became a all-encompassing, all-inclusive in my knowledge seeking and gaining resources to really be a part of the community to better equip myself, him, and our family with, just knowledge of how we can better serve and the community as a whole.
Because it's a family thing, it's a community thing, and we all often want to provide resources to our community. And so learning more about it, it helps us all. So let me ask you this about the age and what school they attend. So Latala, how old are you?
My name is Latalo, and I'm 8 years old, and then I got to the conservatory school.
Ooh. Now, do you do any type of arts if you go to the conservatory school?
Yeah, we have art class and PE class too, and then we have music class.
Music class. Okay, so what's your favorite instrument?
I have it at home though.
What is it?
The trumpet.
Trumpet. Okay, awesome. So you might be in the band soon, or are you currently in the band?
I'm currently in the band today.
I am so proud of you. I love the arts. So that is awesome. And what about you, Miss Nubia?
My name is Nubia.
How old?
Nubia Reed. I'm 6 years old, and I go to the conservatory school.
Okay, so now do you play an instrument? Okay, what kind of arts do you do at the conservatory?
I do
like drawing?
Yeah,
painting?
drawing, painting.
Oh my goodness.
And what instrument do you practice at home every day?
Piano.
Piano. Oh. Okay. That's something that I think I took piano at least 4 times in my lifetime. Seriously. I took it as a child. I paid for it as a college student, and then again as an adult. And I probably did not learn much. I know a couple of things, but the chords and stuff always got me confused. You know how to play chords yet? A little bit? Not yet? Okay, well, you'll learn it. And please stick with it. Let me say, that's probably my one regret, Mom, is that I did not stick with it. She will. I'll say, awesome. Okay, so great. So now let's talk a little bit more about how you try to reach the community with the resources and the information that you learned about autism, or how would it benefit the community to learn more?
Oh, sure. So when I moved here in about 2020, we moved here in 2021, but in 2024 is when I got the idea. I said God dropped it into my spirit with just the lyrics to this song. I just heard a beat and I just started saying, I'm an autistic genius. my husband always calls him an autistic genius. He always calls him a genius. But when I heard the beat to the song, I said, oh, it just kept playing around in my head like I'm an autistic genius. And I just started writing lyrics and it became a song. And we ended up putting that song out in 2024, really to raise awareness around autism and to focus on inclusion. My son, since he was diagnosed at 3, he's attended regularly speech therapy, occupational therapy. He's had ABA therapy with someone coming to class and assisting with in-home help. And my background is actually in social work. I graduated from Columbia University with the master's in social work. And so I am all for children, especially children, African American children, getting resources and doing these different types of therapy to help them be more acclimated to just society. You know, I didn't shy away from him when I got the diagnosis. I fell in, I was all in head first. And the reason that I wanted to put the song out, the Autistic Genius song, is because I'm speaking of all the therapies that he's been in and how long he's been doing them every single week, year round. He works really hard to be in these neurotypical type spaces. He's worked really hard to be himself, but to learn how to, behave what people consider appropriately in every situation. However, neurotypical people neurotypical people don't spend that much time and effort on educating themselves on how to be around other people that are not like them. The neurodiverse community is like overlooked or shunned or
isolated.
They're othered. So we wrote that song basically as a way to be, say this is who I am unapologetically, and I don't have to apologize for being different.
I love it.
And Nubia's verse in that song speaks to like her standing up to bullies and people who may try to tease or make fun of people that are not like them.
Definitely.
And I just want to shed light on that specifically as I said, in the African American community. Oftentimes we're misdiagnosed or the diagnosis comes a lot later. And so it's really important for parents to be familiar and kind of understand what autism is, that there's nothing wrong with their child, that their child's brain works differently so that they can get the resources that are needed so that their child can thrive.
Exactly. And that's what I was going to ask. What is the biggest misconception that you feel that you want people to know and to change their thought process about it? One thing is what you said, because I work in education and I know that we can quickly label someone, and with labels, a lot of times there's negativity or there's a sense that the person can't perform to a certain level. And I think that's wrong on every level. I don't care what the diagnosis is. You know what I mean? So I think that's one misconception that I always, challenge in my position as a counselor, with parents, because sometimes it is what it is, but and just because there's a label attached to it, it doesn't mean that your child is any different or that they can't perform or that they are, should be looked at different or challenged differently. So what do you think would be something that you would want to, make sure that?
I think that what is probably the single-handedly most important thing is early intervention, right? So a lot of times when I'm plugged into an excellent network out here in Palm Beach County, a nonprofit called Candy's Cause, which is an extension of FAU Center for Autism for Black parents and caregivers. When I first came here, I just was Googling resources and I ended up running into that. And so I got plugged into that network. I ended up attending their monthly meetings. And there was a subgroup that developed from that group called Candy's Cause, which I'm plugged into there. And one thing that we see a lot is a supportive network. When we're sharing our stories, we hear a lot of people that we encounter that think, my child is fine, or my child doesn't need help. My child, we're not doing no IEPs around here. They just want to label my kid, and they're missing the fact that there's resources to help your child thrive.
Right.
You know, and we always, I call it the aha moment or the coming to God moment, because there's a lot of parents, and I'm speaking specifically within the Black and brown community, that don't want to acknowledge that their child has a delay, whatever it is,
whatever it is,
wherever they fall, whether it's on the spectrum or whatever it is, they don't want to acknowledge that, and so they're delaying getting their child assessed. They're delaying getting the resources. And the younger your child is when they get these different resources and therapies, the more the likelihood that they will thrive later on.
Right.
It's key.
Because you learn coping. You learn how to, what to do and how to, and how to, utilize your skills or improve upon skills. And I think what you say, I think we're on the same page when it comes to that. So I appreciate that. And I know this is going to help somebody that watches. So I appreciate you all being here and sharing. So let me ask Nubia. Nubia, what is it like being such I heard you have a song. I might want to hear a little bit. Y'all gonna sing a little bit of the song for me, please?
Autistic genius.
Y'all gonna sing it together?
Sing it loud.
They
So
said I couldn't talk, but look at me now. I'm a rapper.
Go, Isaac.
No.
You know how to your
No, I just worked really hard and the first time Mike, I got something to say. I'm an autistic genius in every single way. I don't look you in the eyes. Sometimes I don't speak a lot of thoughts in my head. I just gotta be me. Pass me the mic. I got something to say. We don't judge others. Kindness is the way. Don't look, don't point, don't laugh, don't scare. Don't be mean to my brother. We're inclusive over here. I'm an autistic genius. An autistic genius.
You ready to do the dance now?
Oh, I love it. And I love that she focuses on being nice. Why is it important to be nice, Nubia?
Because
To you, why is it important to be nice?
Because some people are different than you.
All right, I love it. And does being different, is that a bad thing, or it could be a good thing, right? That's right. We're all different. None of us are the same. And so we always should accentuate the positive, be positive, and like you said, be nice to everyone. So I'm just telling you that we are so glad to meet Utalo and Nubia. We're glad that they are our emerging leaders. What is it that you want to see them do in the future? Because someone on the dais, when I went back, they was like, I didn't know you do them so young. And I'm like, because we have awesome young people that are doing great things. So what is it that you want to see them do in the future? As far as their community, and you can tell a little bit, what are some of the things, because I know they do a lot of stuff in Riviera Beach.
That's the other thing that I would say about one thing that I love about Riviera Beach in particular. They participate in a lot of the programs that they have here. You know, they had a soccer program for one season. My kids were on the soccer team. They have to learn to swim, which is incredibly important. You know, more children, I believe, in the state of Florida with autism die in this state from drowning than any other state. And so when I knew that before I came out here, so I was like making sure that they were in a program. And here in Riviera Beach, this learn to swim classes are very affordable. They are seasonal, so you can get it in the summer, but you can also be a part of the swim team, which I believe runs year-round. And every single year, multiple sessions, every summer, my kids are going to be in the swim classes. And I think that one of the most amazing accomplishments for my son in particular was the first time I saw him swim a lap. I couldn't believe it. Last summer, he swam from one side of the pool to the other side of the pool. And as a mother with a child with autism, you know, I did have a fear in the back of my head of drowning because he loves water. One time he just, the second season that we were out here, he probably was 6 years old, and we were just walking past the pool, and he just jumped in. My heart,
Of course.
my heart like fell out of my chest. So seeing him thrive and you know, take advantage of all the city's resources, they're on the Inner City Youth Golf program out here. and we go to that monthly as well. And just the city has so much to offer, which I'm thankful for. And I just can't wait to see them do everything that the doctor said that they couldn't.
Oh my!
They're already breaking barriers.
Right.
As I mentioned to you before, he really didn't know how to have a conversation or know how to go back and forth until he was age 5. Wow. He always had 1 or 2 words. He had a huge vocabulary, but he could only put them together in 1 or 2 words at a time. And when he was 5, that's when he started, being able to hold a conversation. And so whatever he does accomplish, I know that God's hand is on both of them. They're going to be great. And I'm just thankful that this city in particular has so many resources available for them to thrive and to participate in.
Well, let me tell you, that makes us feel happy. I know I'm smiling on the inside because I love this city as well. I was born and raised here and definitely utilize all of the resources that they have, from all the gyms to the library.
The library.
All of the programs.
Thank you for saying that. I spoke a little bit about Candy's Cause, that group that I'm in. And 3 of us were just recently approved last year to hold monthly autism awareness community groups at the library. So we're planning on starting the session sometimes in the month of March.
Well, please make sure I know so that I could, advertise it on my site and on social media so that we can get the people here. And one thing you said that I think is key that sometimes we just, overlook, and sometimes people just don't know, but how important it is about the swimming and their the way that they love water. And I've had some tough stories that I've heard behind that, living in Turtle Cay and things of that nature. So those are things that people need to hear, because you want to get those lessons. You want to make sure that they are comfortable around water. You just want to feel comfortable as a parent. Now, mine didn't have autism, but they were in swim lessons as well, because we live in South Florida. They're going to be around water. So all of those things are important. So you have given us a lot of nuggets. I'm so happy for you and your family. Please make sure you share with us when those meetings start so that we can support others in our community with information about autism. It was such a pleasure meeting you, Miss Nubia. Can I shake your hand? It was nice to meet you. And Miss Turlatalo, thank you so much for all you do. You guys are emerging leaders. And one of my mottos is that we are people-focused, community-centered, and purpose-driven. And I think that they both, including Mom, fit that description. And I know that you guys are going to do great things in the future. So thank you again, Riviera Beach, for giving us a little bit of time to introduce you to our emerging leaders. Thanks again, and God bless you.
God bless you.